This is Ashwini. Welcome to CKA Cert Hands-On channel. The purpose of my channel is to get people who want to give CKA 2025 exam get started on their hands-on practicing journey once they finish the formal course of CKA and have a basic understanding of Kubernetes concepts. This creates a depth in your understanding of each concept and helps you crack CKA exam. CKA exam consists of questions from 5 different categories. We are currently in troubleshooting category that has 30% weightage in CKA exam. I have a playlist for each category of CKA exam. You can see here these are the categories. We are currently dealing with troubleshooting category. Please do check out my playlist for networking and storage categories that carry 20% and 10% weightage. The links for the playlists are provided in every video. Before we get started on today's video is about Kubelet. I think we've had one video about kubelet configuration, but let's try to revise the kubelet configuration and see what it is about. But before that, now which part of troubleshooting does it does it belong to? It belongs to troubleshoot cluster components. If we go to Kubernetes components, we've got our core components, which and we have got control plane components and also the node components. Now kubelet is part of the node components. Kubelet runs on each node, and it is the reason why the pods are running, including their containers. So let's try to check the definition of kubelet. Kubelet is an agent that runs on each node in the cluster. It makes sure that containers are running in a pod. The kubelet takes a set of pod specs that are provided through various mechanisms and ensures that the containers described in those pod specs are running and healthy. The kubelet does not manage containers which were not created by Kubernetes. So basically, kubelet is an agent. It runs on every node in the cluster. Now that is the reason why our pods are always running. If there is a pod that is supposed to run but it is not running, it is the job of kubelet to make sure it's run, and the containers within the pods are also running. Basically, it looks after the health of pods and containers. So let's get started with today's video. We'll set the context. For this question, please set the context. Kubelet service not running in control plane. It will cause the container plane in not ready state. So fix that issue. Okay. Kubernetes. So we have to check the service. Now this is there is a bit of a concept about services in Linux that you need to have knowledge about. How to troubleshoot services. That is actually the beginning point of getting to the configuration and then looking at the configuration. But then the first part is understanding how a service is running, whether a service is running, if it is not running, what are the configuration files to required for that service, and go look for that service. And then how do you start that service? How do you know that the service is either running or not? All these things. There is a combination of troubleshooting of services in general in Linux, and then eventually you will go into looking at the configuration of kubelet service in specific, and then fix the problem when you understand it. So I think most of the I'm just trying to. So it is Linux. It is Ubuntu. So some CTL, we just use systemctl. So status kubelet, because they said it's kubelet service. Now if you see, it is enabled, but if you look at the code, it is exited. If you can see here, There are some errors. All these are errors, failed, all of those things, right? That's fine. So it is stopping, it's deactivated. So basically it's not running. I did a control C to come out of it. And now how do you know what to do, right? That is a very good question, because you have to know where the configuration file for Kubelet, right? Now if you do it, if you have done the labs for a long time, then you probably would have memorized the location of the configuration, which is good. But if you do not, then I will show you a way to understand this. So there is something called a drop-in directory, and that is where it will pick up the configuration file from. So if you see here, it says it's getting the configuration from this 10 cube adm conf, right? So one of the first things is to check there. This is for people who do not know where the kubelet config is, and where to look for, right? So if I go here and do an ls, that is this configuration, right? Now this is nothing to do with Kubernetes in general. It's just a service configuration which is required to start the service. Now if I do open this file, you will see some arguments here. So the environment specific, Kubernetes specific arguments here. So kubelet, kube config, args, and then you've got all these arguments, right? So it's got a bootstrap kube config, and it is this file, and kube config. So this is the file that we are interested in. So look for this particular flag minus kube config, and so we know where the actual configuration is. And there is another file as well, which is kubelet, the arguments file, the configuration, and another which is in var-lib kubelet config.yaml. But okay, so these are the two things that you should probably look at. There should be a problem in either one of these files or both of the files. So we'll do one at a time and see. So I'm going to open this and see if there is anything. Okay, so this is the kubelet configuration. Looks familiar, and generally we have like the cluster name of the cluster, Kubernetes, and we have a certificate authority data, and then we have like I think the API server here. It's I generally look for any error, any mistakes or typos in the port here. That I think that isn't covered in one of the videos. 6443 is the correct port, so we keep trying to. It's Kubernetes, that is the context, and this is the configuration. And so I think we have reached to the bottom where we're left with just the certificate and the key. Now you can see that this is there's a certificate from a general point of view. Even if you do not understand certificates very vastly, one of the things that I look for is the formats of these specific files. Generally a key is .key and a certificate is .crt. It looks like a PEM file, which doesn't seem like the right format for these files. I'm guessing this could be the issue. So I'm going to check if there are any certificate and keys in that location, because generally the questions are like that, where it'll locate to a different file in the same directory, which is a wrong file. And if you see here, yeah, you can see like a kubelet.cert and kubelet.key, right? Okay, so we're going to replace them with those. And see if that works. So I actually remember it, so I'm just gonna do it. but do not do this in the exam. Please copy paste so that you don't have any typos. And we have now modified the kubelet configuration, system CTL, and you have to reload your configurations whenever there is a change, so that when you restart the service, that will get picked up, the latest one gets picked up, and then you restart kubelet. Now again, if you do a systemctl status, it is now in an active and running state, and it looks all right to me. I think it's running. I think that is the fix then. So the cert file and the key file were wrong. I am going to check and validate if my validation is successful. So this is how you troubleshoot the kubelet configuration. Now if you think my videos are helpful, please do subscribe to my channel and also like and share my videos. I will provide the KillerCoda link and also the relevant documentation in the description of my video. I will also be providing all the links to the playlists. I currently have 3 categories: troubleshooting, networking, and storage. Please do go through all of these videos. You will be provided with a link, troubleshooting playlist link at the end of this video. Do go through those, try to solve the labs by yourself, and come back and refer if you think you're not able to solve them. And also also go and check the documentation and try to understand what is the problem that we are dealing with, and also not just how but also the why part of it. And then that's how we will have that wholesome understanding of how everything works, not just Kubernetes but everything else, right? Thanks. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, happy learning. See ya.